Yeah, I'm totally impressed. This is really neat, man.
Yeah, so far this is the best I've heard. I mean, this is like absolutely nothing crystal clear.
So are you in your house?
I'm in my living room.
I can't believe it. These are crystal clear. What do you need when you travel in the backcountry? The simplest things are obviously fire starter, extra jacket, sometimes extra socks, a personal first aid kit. But I recommend having some kind of radio communication. And this little guy, this is the Radioddity HD-1. It is a cool little radio. This is waterproof. It's drop resistant, though there's definitely some limitations to both those characteristics, but it's an FRS radio. Now this FRS radio has all of this DCS and CTCSS. It's all in a linear format. However, I found that those codes and tones don't necessarily line up with a lot of other FRS radios, so be aware of that. Need some troubleshooting if you're trying to match these with a Motorola or a Midland or a Cobra or a BCA or a Walkie Talkie or an Oxbow, just to name a few. I've had some really good results with it. And hopefully the footage that I have in this video kind of shows you that usefulness. But I'm going to be using this for backcountry skiing with a shoulder mic so I can leave the radio in the pack.
Eric, sorry, Ramirez.
So it's a great way to keep your group connected. Now, this is not an end-all be-all, and I'm not expecting this to be a life-saving communication system. If you are out in the woods, I still recommend having like an inReach or some kind of SATCOM device or satellite communication device. I'll be using it for paddleboarding for sure because not only is it waterproof, but it floats. It'll sink and pop right back up. Radioddity HD-1. Radioddity HD-1. It arrives in a 2-pack. The other cool thing that I think is really important to consider on these radios is charging flexibility. So it's a USB-C here. I gave this to my toddler at the pool, just played with it. An hour later, it continued to work. So what's cool is you can dip it in the water and then you can pull it out, push the PTT, and still communicate. There's a couple of things that I didn't necessarily really like, and that has to do with a little bit more of the construction. I did find that some of the buttons will pop off. The cool thing is it does go back in easily, but it is kind of a concern if you are handing it off to a toddler in a wet environment. They're so good, and you can just spread them out with your friends and do whatever, but dude, that's cool.
Let me get my Midlands out real quick and see what those have. If I can just give me like 2 minutes here.
Sounds good, man. Kind of a neat attribute was the PTT up front and the PTT on the side. That is really handy when you're using gloves. For the dexterity, it's hard to beat that kind of thing. And also the key panel is very simplified. And this is one reason why I like FRS radios, because you can hand them out to anybody and they're simple. The keypad's simplified. That's nice in respect to the fact that things aren't going to get accidentally pushed around. So that's really important to think about when you're looking at a radio. They're plenty loud. This has got a great little speaker on it. Radioddity HD-1. Click the link down below if you want to get a little bit of a discount on Radioddity products. I'm not sure how this qualifies because I think these are still pretty inexpensive, but I think it's a great radio. I actually plan on buying 2 more. Currently, we're still testing these, me and my friends, and so we'll be seeing maybe some more of this in use out in the field. I don't know, but that is why I'm not holding up 2 of these.